later than the date they were popular before. Can you imagine doing that with your phone? Can you imagine doing it with very many other things, and yet they have managed to pull together antique cars and new people, classic cars and new classic events, and put together a series of events that this year will be bigger, better, broader, more expansive, faster than it was last year. And we're very excited to have you join us. And a special thank you to the media, who I think always deserves more recognition than they get.
It really has been a dream for about 30 years. I was involved in Speed Weeks back in the 50s and 60s, particularly in 1964, 65, 66. Just before it ended in Nassau. I had the pleasure of seeing and working and meeting a lot of the dignitaries and drivers that were here then, such as Carol Shelby and Dan Gurney, A.J. Foyt, Graham Hill, Bruce McLaren. A lot of people never had the opportunity to meet them, so that was, quite an impression on me at that age difference. And the buzz that last year brought to 2012. We are setting a target this year at 60 cars. That's where we're going to cut it off. We probably need another 22 or 24 to make that happen. And that's very doable because not a lot of those cars are coming out of the United States. Some are local and some are from Europe. Last year, I know a lot of people saw what happened during the event, particularly the Saturday and Sunday, when we had the competitive aspects of it at our Waukee. And to some extent, the vendors felt a little bit left out. We figured out a way now this year that we can correct that. This fry area will be accessed by everybody. And, it won't alienate or cut off the vendors like it did last year, because we had the cars running up the middle of the fish fry and we had fencing on each side. So we think we'd be able to fix that this year and, have the Saturday and Sunday, because the 2 weekends this year before the competitive events with activities going on at our Waukee as well. So, that's one of the fixes that, we want to make this year, along with having a lot of the Bahamians come out and be at this event, because there are a lot of free viewing places. You don't have to actually pay to get in to see a big parking lot at our Waukee. This year we're putting up a 26,000 square foot tent. Our paddock club last year was 5,000 square feet. This year it's 10,000 square feet. So it's going up exponentially, and our goal, when we started this out, we had a 5-year plan. Our goal is to make this the biggest social must-do event in the Bahamas going forward.
No, it's aging us, trust me. Do you know, way back then when Jimmy was wandering about the cars here and maybe dreaming and thinking that he could be a part of it, there was a young guy 4,336 miles away, I think it is, who was reading magazines and reading about exotic places like Le Mans, France, Monte Carlo, Indianapolis. And he came across a magazine that referred to a sports car race in a place called Nassau in the Bahamas. And it all seemed very exotic. Remember, this is back almost before the wheel was invented and you couldn't go places so easily. And I had a kind of dream that, wow, what a wonderful place. And it was great drivers like Sterling Moss, now Sir Sterling Moss, our patron, of course, coming back again. And how wonderful it would be to be involved in that. And eventually, I got involved with racing as a participant and as an organizer. And then got the call from Jimmy and Brendan and the guys to come and have a look. So 50 years ago, who could have imagined that might happen? And way back then, I didn't have pictures of pop stars and girls on my bedroom wall. I was clearly a strange child. I used to cut out pictures of race cars, and this is the actual picture I cut from a magazine in 1964, and I kept it. This is not the Kasumi. This is it. This is a Tory with their right arm to have a really top. You're getting pains in your arms there. Don't worry, the cash will do. Seriously, sports tourism is big news because you get so much bang for your buck. I think you'll all have seen some of examples in your packs of the huge coverage we got. There's an article in there in Car magazine that was printed in 14 different languages in 25 countries. It's all out there. It's about embracing what's around us here, but also getting the reach out of there. So it's quite simple. Let's all pull together. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. I can assure you, having worked with this team now for about a year and a half, it could not have happened without the passion of Jimmy Lowe, without the patience and the perseverance of David McLaughlin, who has basically given up his life in the UK. I've often thought about asking him how his marriage is, but I'm afraid of what he would say, and should it be a little risky, I don't want to be the one to say, but you got to stay here. He's actually married to a race car driver as well. There are a few other people I'd like to acknowledge before we turn the floor over to the Honorable Minister. David is the Minister of Tourism, and it's my great honor to introduce the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Obadiah H. Welsh-Trumpet.
Thank you very much, Diane. Jimmy and David, and the enormous potential that this has for this country, and what it represented last year and what it can do this year and beyond. I believe that your involvement of the vendors and the Bahamian people generally is without question the right thing to do. If the people aren't involved, then more than likely you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. But the buzz is created when the people get involved and they begin to talk about what could become that event that the world again recognizes the Bahamas for. It is also true that we strongly support sports tourism. When the department was created several years ago, it was always intended to use our shores to promote sports. What we're seeing now is this great attraction, and over the next several weeks you'll be hearing more about major golf events, also our relationship with sporting organizations, whether it's professional basketball or professional football or baseball. The whole idea is to ensure that the Bahamas is at all times being recognized for being that destination that offers you everything that you want and fulfilling the dreams that you have. Jimmy and David are in fact fulfilling their dreams, and the Ministry of Tourism is just very excited about this event. Speed Week has an appeal, and I have told the Director General that what we must do is contribute more to the marketing of it, to ensure that we are getting the coverage around the world, to use every avenue that we have to promote what you're doing, to make it that exciting event that we believe will draw people from around the world. Now, I think you know I'm from Grand Bahama. It's not a bad idea if one of these years you decide that you're going to come to Grand Bahama and bring the folks down and show them that part of the Bahamas. Because one of the things the Director General told me was this. He said it not only represented an event that will bring a number of visitors to the hotels, and they will have time to enjoy the restaurants and enjoy the culture generally of our country, but also there were individuals here who had an interest in investing in the Bahamas. So it has that appeal as well. But we believe that we have to show off more of our country to make sure that more people get to know that all that we have and these secrets that we've kept hidden from the world that we put on display. And so the Ministry of Tourism is just very excited about this event. You have our full support. We will be with you all the way. And we will ensure that we use every single avenue that we have to promote Speed Week and to promote the events associated with Speed Week. And then next year, when you are planning, we hope to do even more, because next year is the 40th anniversary of the Bahamas. And during that 40th anniversary, we want to make sure that we send to the world our strength. We show the world how proud we are as a people. and that we do events. And if Speed Week has to be stretched over a period of time, and we use it to promote our country over a period of time, and if we establish a presence at some of those major events in the United States where they are racing those wonderful vehicles, whether it's in the United States or any part of the world, France, anywhere. The whole idea is to use what we have and help us to build and to promote the Bahamas, because it is the objective of the Ministry of Tourism to become the premier warm weather destination in the entire world. We believe that we're on a platform to do so. We believe that we will achieve it. We believe that we have all the players to make it happen. And Jimmy and David, thank you very much for your contribution. This is your country, and I'm so glad you're doing something to ensure that we can promote it and make it great.
Pleasure.
Thank you all very much, and we look forward to an exciting Speed Week.
Who have provided such protection for these millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of cars, and for all of the spectators and the drivers and so forth. And to Pictet Bank, which is once again sponsoring the auction of promises and the final gala banquet. So last year they raised a great deal of money, which was donated to 4 Bahamian charities. We're going to do it again this year. Thank you, Pictet, for your strong partnership. Do you want to stand for 1 second? And Minister, we would like to invite you now. I think Brendan and Jimmy and David would like to escort you and the media out and get a photograph with one of the cars. Do we want to entertain any questions? I know the minister has another commitment, and I don't know if you want to entertain any questions. A few questions from the media before we go out and do the photo. And we can put you in the driver's seat, Minister. Yeah? All right. Why don't we take just a couple of very quick questions then, media? Jeff? Anything? No? Everybody else?
Come on, give him the keys.
Yeah, the keys.
Make a run. Minister, last one. Guys, you ready? I'm going to get a shot. Everybody lift his head up. Come on.